Well, they're so durable, for one thing. You can almost make anything out of them. It's like a piece of material almost. You know, if it's going to protect the ear of corn, it's going to be pretty good material.
Pretty good material. That's what the lady said. And she should know. Mrs. Herman Headrick of Rossville, Georgia, has been weaving for 30 years. 5 years ago, she and corn shucks discovered each other and have become quite a team. She weaves with them.
Well, you can weave anything that you get to stay between these two threads. So I had seen people making chair bottoms with corn husks, and I had the idea that you could weave them, and I tried it, and they wove up beautifully. They make a good, sturdy piece of material, and I'll make them into bags or use placemats or what have you. And they're really durable, and they're really attractive.
I never expected them to look as pretty as they do.
Well, I didn't either when I first started to work with it. As a matter of fact, the first one I made didn't look quite that good, but I kept working with it till I think it turned out real pretty.
Well, do you use just your regular garden variety corn
Yeah,
shucks?
and the fall of the year, when the farmer gathers his corn, well, I get the corn husk, and I go from that then. Of course, I use the better pieces, soft inner layers, really.
She takes the shucks, tears them into strips, then soaks them until they're soft. Her husband built her loom. When? Ages ago, she'll say. You would think that weaving even one bag from corn shucks would be sufficient. Mrs. Headrick's does 7 at a time.
Well, this is my handles down here, the handles to the bags. I make those first because they're harder to make, and I like to get those out of the way. And I make 7, I divide my threads, and I make 7 across, 7 handles. And then I make the 7 bags, and then usually I take them off, and then I go through the process of lining them and tying the fringe, and then attaching the handle to the bag, and finally come up with the finished bag.
She sets a soft rhythm as she weaves, adding row after row.
I find at night when I sit down to weave a while, I can relax, and it's just a good hobby, really good hobby. It has to be a hobby. There's no profit in it because there's too much time involved in it. Especially with this, I work hours and hours on a corn husk bag.
What's Mr. Headrick's doing while his wife is weaving? Well, he's up to his knees in, what else, corn shucks. Mrs. Headrick's takes the pick of the crop for her bags, and the rest he fashions into old-fashioned corn shuck brushes and mops. Well, if the day ever comes that somebody else figures out something else to do with corn shucks, y'all be the first to know. We're visiting Mr. and Mrs. Herman Headrick in Rossville, Georgia, and I'm Andy Johnston.